Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, you're welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, you are very welcome. Remember, I started a series on forgiveness, and I promised that I was going to upload videos every week for the next 3 weeks. For the next 3 weeks, I'm sorry I am not consistent with that. Life happens, but trust me, I have a better idea because God just expanded this idea of forgiveness. He helped me to expand it, and then I would not be doing this alone. What happened was that I was supposed to film the next video, and then while I was at home, and then I was thinking, the Holy Spirit just told me that I should take a pause, and then I should reach out to some persons who are willing to share their stories that could help other people to get out of whatsoever thing they might be struggling with as regards forgiveness. And then I was searching around me like, who would I reach out to and all of that, but nobody was coming to mind. And there was this day I just sent a message to one of my sisters, and then she highlighted 3 things that actually struck me. I was like, you went through all of this. I was like, wow, you are one of the persons I've been looking for. And today I would not be doing the talk alone, so I have one of my sisters here with me. She's a teacher, she's a friend, she's easygoing, and she's a business person. When I say someone is easygoing, if easygoing was a person, this lady is easygoing. She's a soft life kind of person. So welcome with me. Okay, you're welcome, and thank you for allowing me to trust you today. Welcome. Remember, I reached out to you, and then I asked you. First off, have you seen my video? The last video I filmed about forgiveness. Have you seen it?
Not yet, but I'll see it after this video.
She's one of those people. You get what I'm talking about?
Forgive us.
No problem. Okay, so talking about forgiveness. In the last video, I talked about you forgiving yourself, because I feel forgiveness starts with you. Like, sometimes we forgive other people, and then we become too hard, and we remain hard on ourselves. Like, we struggle with unforgiveness within ourselves. So remember, I reached out to you, and then I asked if you had any issue with forgiving yourself or forgiving somebody around you for a while, and then you mentioned some things. If you're not comfortable with sharing some things, please don't share it. But as much as you're comfortable with sharing, please, let's go on this journey together. So I'm going to start by saying that what is your idea of forgiveness? Like, what do you think forgiveness is real? Like, people say, I will forgive them. There's nothing somebody can do. I even forgive them in advance. Do you think forgiveness is real?
Well, to me, forgiveness is real. It's real in the sense that there's no point holding something in. You holding him keeps you in bondage, if I can say that. Because to me, it's more like I'm bothered about that thing. Even if it's me at fault or the person at fault, I'm bothered about it, as the well-being of that person. I'm bothered, and it sticks to me. So forgiveness is real. It releases you from whatever bondage. It releases you.
So let me start with, have you ever had any issue with forgiving yourself? Is there any story around that?
Okay, like this popular saying, who has not effed up? Hands up. I am. It's like, I want to believe every one of us, one way or the other, we've fucked up, we've effed up, if I can say that. And I am one of those. I have offended myself, offended God, and at a point I felt, would I be able to get out of this thing? But thanks be to God, I'm smiling again.
So, can you share do you have any experience in relation to you doing something? Is this something you want to talk about? Like, okay, there was something you did that you were not so proud about, and how did you handle it? What was your reaction initially, and how did you get to that place of forgiving yourself?
Okay. When you reached out to me earlier on about it, and before writing, I remember you saying, you're waiting, no.
Yes.
And when I read it, I was just like, does this sister know what she's asking me, Sha? Like, I had to I had to look within. I had to ask myself some questions while writing, and okay, this is it. And the last one I wrote, I actually didn't want to write that, but there was just this push in me, like it's part of it, and that was actually for me. It was for me, because the other two things I wrote was actually for with also other people offending me and me letting go and forgiving them, embracing them. But this was for me, like how do I embrace myself? How do I let go of what I've done and forgive myself? Okay, this was something that happened last year October. I'm one of those that preach abstinence, and I'm a girl child advocate, so I preach abstinence to those girls. And now you can imagine when I fall into something like that, I do something like that, you can imagine how hard it's going to be for me to even look past that. I remember reaching out to people around me, and one of the first things, one of the people I reached out to said was, "Did God tell you He has cast you away?" And I was like, "No." I said, "Fine." The other person was like, "Did the Holy Spirit say He's not going to be your friend again?" I said, "No." He said, "So why are you disturbing yourself? Why are you holding on to it?" And I had to look to myself like, wow, that's true. God has not forsaken me. The Holy Spirit has not said, no, I cannot be your friend again, you're dirty. That means it's just me seeing myself as being dirty because of what I did. And so I had to just come to that place of accepting the forgiveness of God and forgiving myself. That yes, I'm human, I fell, but I don't have to stay down. I can come up, I can get out of it. And I guess that was where my healing started from. First talking about it, then actually accepting the fact that yes, I did it, and not giving excuses. Because okay, yes, I remember that initially when I was holding on to it, I was giving excuses of why I did it. I went through some things, and that was my own way of retaliating against God. Doing that was my own way of retaliating against God, and at the end of the day, I hurt myself more than I hurt God. And I guess that was what I was now holding on to, that yes, this was why I did it. It wasn't as if I wanted to do it, but I did it because I was expecting something, it did not happen, and maybe this is why they've been telling me, okay, and I did it. So I guess letting go of that, letting go of those excuses, and accepting that yes, Chioma, you actually did this thing, and no matter what is surrounding what made you do it, you did it. Accept it. And I accepted it, and I genuinely asked God for forgiveness about it, and I let go. It wasn't in one particular order, because I remember, okay, when it first happened, I remember crying. I remember crying about it, like crying. I was crying, like crying from within. I cried. I'm sorry, it will not happen again. I cried.
Who are you apologizing to?
I was apologizing to God. I will not do this again. I'm sorry, it will not happen again. My dears, I did it again. And the second time when I did it again, I was just like, hey, what next? What else? I started asking myself some questions, and it was as if I cannot just let go. I cannot forgive myself. I was like, I've done it. Who must stay in it? And okay, so I guess having to know that this is hurting God, at the same time it is hurting me. I guess that was the first thing for me. That was where I actually had to start letting go. I had to accept that in as much as God has forgiven me, but me going back and doing those things is hurting Him. Like it is hurting Him, because I know there are times I feel the pull of He wants to talk or He wants to fellowship, and me myself, I'm not just in that place of fellowship because I'm being like, would you want to talk with me? And you know, okay, this is it. You know, somebody wants to talk with you, but you feel because you are dirty, you yourself feel you're dirty, you don't want to come into that person's presence.
You feel unworthy.
Thank you. I felt as if, how can I come into this person's presence? Like, how? So I guess it was that point of accepting is forgiveness. Accepting is forgiveness. That was where my own forgiveness started from.
Wow.
I had to accept that yes, he has forgiven me, he has taken it off completely. Then the forgiveness comes from that.
Okay, so once after accepting that he has forgiven you, and then after going through you forgiving yourself, did you still struggle with that act? Like, was it still a struggle for you? Because what I'm trying to derive is that you know, sometimes when we go through sin, like when you do something for the first time or you sin against God, you know, we were once taught to believe that you have to fight sin with physically, like you have to be conscious of sin. You have to know that okay, sin is your enemy, and then you have to go around with cutlass cutting sin off. Was it the same experience, or you just had to like settle it with God and then that was it?
Okay, remember I said initially when the first time, the second time I cried about it, and I guess that was when I was doing the old way of forgiveness and stuff. I was trying to do it by my strength, myself, and since I can tell you, I failed. Like I failed hopefully. I can remember not writing. Actually dropped the voice notes for the other person involved. Actually dropped the voice note, and I was like, I'm done. Like I'm tired. I can't do this again. I'm tired. I was crying. I cried inside this thing, and I sent it. And after that one, I still felt bad. Okay, I think it was after that voice note, I had to confide in one of my friends. I had to confide in her that, see, sis, this is where I am. And she looked at, I was just like, see, don't judge me, please don't judge me. I've judged myself enough. I am feeling bad already. Please don't hurt me. I just need your love at this present moment. And she was understanding. Let me just put that there. She was very, very understanding. It wasn't as if she has done something like that, no. But she was understanding that, yes, I realized what has happened, and she helped my hand. Let me say that she helped my hand, and before I got the courage to talk to some other people, and those ones were the ones that asked me those questions of, did God say he doesn't love you again? All those questions. And after those questions, I had to sit myself down like, but wait though, he has forgiven me. He has taken it away. That means that I'm not supposed to be doing this thing again, or I'm supposed to be relying on him. And he's been helping me. Like, he's been helping me. As every time I felt like doing it again or going back, falling into it, countless times I felt like what he's been helping me. I forgave myself for doing it in the first place. I know if I should do this again, yes, he will forgive me, but at the same time, I don't even forgive myself again if I forget it. So, yes, it's not been easy, but with God, me trusting in the fact that this is not by my power but God, I've been able to live above it, and I've been able to stay above it.
Next time on this series. I was going to stretch it, but I don't want to stress you. Okay, let me ask this question. So if you are going to advise people that have somebody like this around them, you know, one of the reasons why people don't really go out to talk to people about what they are going through is because they are afraid of being judged, if I am correct. Let's take for instance, if that first person you met had judged you, like, oh, you did this thing, do you know who you are, do you know the number of persons looking up to you, no, you are ridiculous, God can never forgive you, would you have reached out to the other persons to say, okay, I did this,